Welcome to Free Coding Academy's videos on Python. This is part 8, strings. So first up, comparing strings. Strings can be compared using logical operators such as less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equals, and not equal to. They can also be compared with the operators in and not in. Strings are compared using the ASCII alphabet character by character until an answer is reached. So greater than and greater than or equal to checks whether the first string is greater than or equal to the second based on this ASCII alphabet. Less than and less than or equal to checks whether the first string is less than or equal to the second. Equals checks whether the two strings are equal. Not equal to checks whether two strings are not equal. In checks whether the second string contains the first string, and not in checks whether the second string does not contain the first string. Next up, converting to uppercase and lowercase. So if you include the function .lower, this returns a string converted to all lowercase letters. If you include .upper, this returns a string converted to all uppercase letters. The methods do not modify the original string, but make a copy of it and change the copy. So it's important to keep this in mind. Next, indexes. The characters inside a string are indexed from 0 to len of the string minus 1, where len string returns the length of the string. Next, characters in a string can also be indexed in reverse order with negative values. So the last character has an index of -1, and the first character has an index of negative length string, so the negative value of the length of the string. Slicing strings. To retrieve a part of a string, you can include a statement in this general form. So the string name, and then inside square brackets, x:(y). So this is going to return the characters from the string from index x inclusive to index y exclusive. If x and y are not provided, it returns the entire string from index 0 to index len string name. So the entire string, basically. So here's an example to illustrate this. So we have the variable mag is equal to magnificent, and the variable cent is equal to mag, and then in square brackets 7 to 11. So if we look at the string that's contained in the variable mag, indexes 7 to 11 is going to be, well, let's check. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to be these last 4 characters right here, C, E, N, T, because you're not including index 11. So it's from index 7 to index 10 inclusive, index 11 exclusive. So it's going to be C, E, N, T. Therefore, if we print the variable cent, it's going to output cent as a string. Next up, immutable strings. So immutable refers to how strings cannot be changed after being created. So whenever a method appears to change a string, it is really creating a new string with those changes. The original string does not change. Next up, in and not in. So if you have some text in double quotes, and then you include the keyword in, and then the name of a string, this returns true or false based on whether the second string contains the first string. So if this string contains this string text, then this is going to return true. Otherwise, we can have the statement some text, some string, not in, and then the name of a string. This is going to return true or false based on whether the second string contains the first string. So if this string contains this string, then this is going to return false. If it does not contain it, then it's going to return true. So these are opposites of each other. Next up, a for loop containing the in keyword. So the in keyword can be used in a for loop to iterate over characters in a string. So here's an example. For x in happy, print x. So the output will be H, A, P, P, and Y on separate lines. And so this is because we're saying use the variable x to loop through every single character in the string happy, and then print that character. So it's going to print each character on a separate line. Next, the function find. So if we have string name dot find, and then inside parentheses we include a string, this returns the index of when the substring being passed in first occurs inside the original string being searched. If the substring is not contained in the string, -1 is returned instead. Next we have .index. So if string name .index and then we include some string inside the parentheses, this returns the index of when the substring being passed in first occurs inside the original string being searched. If the substring is not contained in the string, it returns an error. So the only difference between these two is that if you're using .index, it automatically assumes that the string must be contained with it, because if it's not, then it's going to return an error. But in this case, if you don't find the string inside the original string that you're searching, then it's going to return -1. Next up, formatting strings. So it's best to discuss formatting strings with an example. So here's example 1. So we have the variable order is equal to, and then we have a string, I want, and then in curly braces, and then scoops of, curly braces, ice cream. So if we include this statement, print, and then the name of the variable, which is order, dot format, and then inside parentheses, we include two strings separated by commas. So first we have the string 3, and then we have the string mint chocolate chip. So what this is going to do is it's going to take this string contained in the variable order, and it's going to format it. So it's going to put each of these strings in this order into wherever it sees those sets of curly braces. So first it's going to put 3 into this set, and it's going to put mint chocolate chip into this set. Therefore, when you're printing this, your output is going to be, I want 3 scoops of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Here's example 2. So here we have order is equal to, and then a string, I want, and then inside curly braces, now we have the word num, and then scoops of, and then inside another set of curly braces, we have the word flavor, and then ice cream. So here, it's going to look very similar. So we're going to have print, and then inside parentheses, the name of the variable, order, dot format, and then inside parentheses, we're going to include those two strings again, but now we're naming the words we included inside sets of curly braces and setting them equal to each of those strings. So we're specifying clearly where we want each string to be inside this original string that we want to format a certain way. So now 3 is going to replace this set of curly braces right here, and mint chocolate chip will replace this set of curly braces right here for the flavor. So therefore, this kind of named replacement fields, such as the example above, can be used more than once, and they can be ordered in any way. So this is slightly more organized, and it might be more useful if you're doing something more complicated. Continuing with formatted strings, so in numbered replacement fields, the index for the strings you enter begins at 0 and continues as it would for character indexes in a string. So here, in this example 3, we have string 1 is equal to ice cream is, and then inside curly braces, we have 0, 0, and 1. So if we include this statement, print, and then inside parentheses, the name of the string, string 1, dot format, and then inside parentheses, we have two strings. We have very, comma, sweet. So now, the indexes for these two strings are going to be 0 and 1. So now, wherever you see the index 0, that's going to be replaced with the string very. So this is going to be ice cream is very, very. And then since this is index 1, the word sweet is going to replace this over here. So this, when you print it, is going to read ice cream is very, very sweet. Next up, splitting strings. So if you split the statement string name dot split and then inside parentheses some string that's going to contain the symbol used for separation. So split returns a list of the string separated into substrings everywhere the symbol used for separation is included. So everywhere it sees this string, it's going to split the original string into substrings, which are going to be returned in a list. So here's an example. So we have text is equal to and then a string containing happy, hyphen, sad, hyphen, joyful, hyphen, excited. So if you include the statement print and then inside parentheses text dot split and then inside parentheses a string containing a hyphen, this is what it's going to output. So it's going to output inside square brackets happy, comma, sad, comma, joyful, comma, excited. So this is a list containing the original string separated into substrings everywhere it sees a hyphen. Next up, we have the opposite of splitting strings. We have joining strings. So we have some string dot join and then the name of a list inside parentheses. So join returns a string of the elements in a list joined by the string test. So this is going to return a string of all of the elements in a list combined together, joined by this string text, which you have originally right here. So here's an example. So we have feelings is equal to, and then inside square brackets, we have various strings. So happy, sad, joyful, excited. And then we have a string named link, and that contains a string that has a hyphen. So if we include the statement print and then link dot join feelings, so here we're telling Python to take this list feelings and it's going to extract each of those elements, which are each string, and it's going to connect them, join them using this hyphen. So then it's going to return a string with all of those combined together, which is why when you print this, you're going to get an output that is a string saying happy, sad, joyful, excited, all combined using those hyphens. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to watch part 9 next.